In the early 1960s, the world of motorsport was shifting. Ferrari still dominated the racing scene, but a new force had arrived from America. Carroll Shelby's Cobra was lighter, raw, and brutally fast. By 1964, the Daytona Coupe had evolved into a serious threat, beating Ferrari on some of the world's biggest stages. For most, this was a battle between giants. But for Tom Mead, it was an opportunity. The idea for the anti-cobra didn't come from a factory or a corporate strategy. It came from frustration. A Swiss baron, tired of being outpaced in his Corvette by Shelby Cobras, approached Mead with a challenge. Build something better, not just competitive, but dominant. What followed was not just another custom car, but a personal answer to one of the most iconic machines of the era. The project began in 1963, using the remains of a wrecked Duntov racing Corvette. Mead salvaged the engine, but everything else would be built from scratch. Instead of modifying an existing platform, he engineered a bespoke tubular steel chassis, lightweight, rigid, and purpose-built. This wasn't a modification. It was a clean sheet design. At its heart was a massive 6.2-liter GM V8, producing around 550 horsepower, more than enough to rival the 289 and 427 Cobras of the time. Power was sent through a German ZF 5-speed gearbox, paired with a quick-change differential. Mead wasn't just chasing speed. He was building adaptability, a car that could evolve depending on the demands of the track. Technically, the anti-cobra was remarkably advanced. It featured fully independent suspension, gurling disc brakes on all four corners, with inboard rear discs to improve weight distribution. Magnesium components were used extensively, including the uprights and wheels, while much of the chassis and suspension relied on aluminum. The body itself was hand-formed from thin aluminum, just 1.5 millimeters thick. But as always with Mead, engineering was only part of the story. The design was bold, unconventional, and unmistakably personal. The car featured a removable targa roof and unique gull-wing-style windows. Not doors, but windows that lifted upward independently. When the roof was removed, the car had no side windows at all. It was a radical interpretation of what a sports car could be. Interestingly, the anti-cobra was developed alongside Mead's early Tomasima projects. At the time, he relied on client commissions to fund his personal creations, and the anti-cobra existed somewhere in between, a commissioned weapon and a creative experiment. Many of the ideas tested here would later influence the Tomasima series. Despite its potential, the anti-cobra never achieved the fame it deserved. The car was raced, then eventually crashed. Poorly repaired and largely forgotten, it faded from public view. Mead later managed to buy it back, but instead of restoring it immediately, he stored it away in Italy, where it remains to this day. Today, the anti-cobra is one of Tom Mead's most obscure creations. Few have seen it, and even fewer know its full story. Yet it represents a crucial turning point, the moment when Mead moved beyond modifying cars and began creating his own vision from the ground up. And perhaps most telling of all, Mead never let go of the idea. Years later, he spoke about building a modern version of the anti-cobra, more advanced, more powerful, and true to the original spirit. Because for him, this wasn't just a car, it was the beginning of something bigger.